What is going on, you guys? Dr. Tiger back again. Today is a new week. It is April 6th, and I did not trade today. As of 10:48 a.m., I've been staying on the charts. I normally finish trading around 10:20. That's normally the time by which I am done. And I honestly feel like I could have been done a little bit earlier, but I still felt potentially some conviction in some trades, and I did not take any. So let me just show you. Today was very similar to Thursday, or at least the beginning of it was very similar to Thursday of last week. If you guys remember, we kind of just started off choppy and then we delivered higher. That's kind of what Thursday ended up being like. Crap. Okay, we're good. We're good. But yeah, this is the chart on the 2-minute. Looks very messy. We have just been chopping the entire session, which honestly I kind of expected because we did move 300 points overnight, but off open, we manipulated higher. Then we started delivering lower. We reswept this low and then delivered higher again. And I was like, okay, this technically was the move that, the most successful move of the day was this inversion up here to these buy side draws. It was like this 5 a.m. high. My only issue with this is that I was looking at the 2-minute and 1-minute gaps, and look at how these 2-minute gaps dumped from sweeping these highs up here. So we swept these highs and then we dumped, and then we reswept the low and slowly grinded back up. I really like to see volume when I'm trading, and the fact that we had, in my opinion, lower volume than the retracement, I just really did not like that. I wanted to see a little bit cleaner bullish structure. I saw that we made this 3-minute gap right here. I really would have loved if we could have retraced into that prior to going higher. We did not get that. So unfortunately, I faded those longs. Then I saw that some people took shorts on the way down from here. 10 a.m. news came out, created this huge data high, and then we dumped, and I saw people shorted off that. I just really was not going to be interested in shorts because this low right here was protected. We swept a low inside of a 1-hour gap, and we closed above that 1-hour gap. We respected this gap. We absolutely destroyed this small bearish gap. And on the 4-hour, just the 4-hour close was extremely bullish. So there was no world in which I was ever taking shorts. But yeah, then we eventually get this 5-minute IFEG, and I was interested in this, but I saw there was this 5-minute gap here. It was a 30-point bullish 5-minute gap, and I was like, okay, would really love continuation longs off of this. Then I guess we dumped straight through it, and even though we closed through it on the 5-minute, we basically immediately reacted off of it and almost got this 1-minute IFEG here. We did not close through it though. And so I was so close to taking it. I did not though. And I saved myself a loss. So, currently no trades taken on the day. I probably will not trade. Volume's very low and we just chopped all morning. So want to save my capital for something more high probable. So yeah, guys, I will catch you guys tomorrow. What is up, guys? Today is Tuesday, and I printed off of shorts on NASDAQ today. Oh my goodness, it was so clean. And unfortunately, I got stop break even on my first trade. That would have been a banger setup. Oh my goodness. I mean, it was a banger setup. It's just, we kind of chopped for the first 10 minutes of open, and I really did not like that. I feel like I had really strong conviction in the DOL lower, and we took my break even point. Perhaps I should have had a better break even point, but I feel like my break even point was logical for my first trade. But then I found a logical re-entry on my second trade, and not gonna lie, I almost got stopped out. Oh my goodness, it was actually so scary. But I just, again, had to trust my conviction in the DOL. It was very clear that we were going lower today, and let me just show you my trades. So hold on, that was my second trade. I want to show you the trades in order. So this was my first trade. By the way, I sent all these to the Discord. I always send all of my executions, and tons of people also send theirs. I sent my daily bias, which actually happened to be completely correct. Exactly what I wanted to happen happened. I said in my Discord that I wanted for us to tap or to sweep this 1-hour high and then reject lower to these relative equal lows, and that is exactly what happened. These lows were stacked. They were data lows, relative equal lows, the new week opening gap, and a 1-hour internal low. And if we are to be bullish, which we kind of have been for the past week or so, then we should expect to come sweep out this 1-hour low to continue higher. And, just all of those confluences made me pretty bearish today. And I basically saw an opportunity right off the open. We ended up sweeping the 1 hour internal high immediately. We made a bearish SMT with ES at the time. We that ended up holding, by the way. It ended up holding completely. And we made a nice, beautiful 1 minute IFEG lower through all of these 1 minute gaps. I entered on a small pullback here, and I had my stop. I like this 930 wick was extremely big, so I kind of just decided to do like CE of the 930 wick, and I targeted the target lower. And this obvious pre-market low to me was the obvious break-even point, and we hit it, and then we literally hit break-even by like a tick. Sorry for the the dirty thing. I really need to clean this shit, but anyway, it's I got stop break-even by a tick, and then I saw we were going lower, and so I was like, okay, how can I re-enter on this setup logically? How can I logically re-enter on this setup? Because obviously my conviction in the draw and liquidity was very strong. I knew that this low was going to get hit. And so I was thinking, okay, what are some additional higher time frame IFEGs? And so I saw this 3 minute here, and we did not inverse it over here. And so I was thinking, okay, perhaps we could break structure lower beyond this low, and we did. We completely destroyed this 3 minute gap. We broke structure to the downside. So I was like, okay, all I literally need to do is catch a retrace. And so I set a limit order at the 180 level over here, and I put my stop above the 3 minute inversion high, which I'm not gonna lie was kind of scary because I really did not have a logical, like putting it there did not feel good to me, but it's just, I know that if we are to be bearish, then I expect lower highs and lower lows. And this is just the logic. Like, to me, this just makes the most sense to put it at the inversion high. And we almost stopped me out. We completely reverse, and we take out my target. And again, I just want to show you on the chart real quick, just everything that I'm saying. So on the hourly, this just looks so beautiful. We, again, beautifully tap this 1 hour gap. We immediately reject lower. And it's just like, despite chopping for the first, what was it? For the first 10 minutes, we chopped for the first 10 minutes, but then we just clearly showed that we wanted to go lower. And yeah, I'm just really glad that I could capitalize off of this price action. I honestly think the first break-even trade, like, I'm not mad that it got break-even. I entered where I entered, and price just happened to stop me out at break-even by a point. And then, it is what it is, but I still ended up getting an entry and still ended up 1,046 on the day. I'm not necessarily happy that I'm up. I'm really happy that I followed my rules and my system and my plan. And that I think that, like, if I was wrong, I would have felt proud of these losses because I just felt extremely, confident in the draw lower, and that ended up working out. So technically, I'm like, I mean, I'm not really necessarily focused on a payout right now, but what I will say is that this account is extremely close to being able to request again. And I'm just going to not trade for the payout, but continue to trade for myself and to follow my rules and all those things. I don't care how long it takes to get the payout. As long as I do so in a way that I'm proud of, then yeah. So anyways, guys, catch you guys tomorrow. What is going on, you guys? Dr. Tiger back again. It is Wednesday, April 8th, and I just won again. I'm on a nice win streak, and I actually am able to request a payout today, so that is really awesome. I'm going to be able to update the balance to 13.1. I'm going to just show you proof. So today I won $1,076 on 5 accounts, as you can see, 5 accounts, and I got this XFA to 7K, so that will allow me to request 3.5, but because of profit split, I'll be getting a little bit over 3.1. So feeling awesome, you guys. This trade was extremely scary. Like, this week has kind of been characterized by scary trades, and I just honestly, I mean, it kind of sucks because, I want to feel like I want my trades to play out quickly. I want them to be very beautiful trades. This was a very long trade, and I did trade pre-market, you guys. I took this trade at 8:45 a.m. and I had to sit through market open. I was not break even at market open. I had to sit through market open. I almost got manipulated out of the trade, and then it went fully to my take profit. So let me just show you what I thought going into the day. So I think that it's very clear that we are overextended for longs. So even if we are bullish, we cannot take a long because look at how overextended we are. We just completely pumped, took out every single high time frame buy side draw. And so what we left was unfilled 4-hour gaps. We left this unfilled 4-hour and we also left this unfilled 4-hour as well. This one right here. And we were just generating a lot of liquidity at those gaps. We, prior to market open, we had London low here. We had all this low resistance liquidity kind of lining up over here. And what I saw pre-market was that we kind of chopped over here for a second. We swept this high, which also kind of was like London high. It was at 505. So we swept the 505 or 510 high. We immediately rejected it like pretty strongly, right? From 40 to 75. That is basically a 70-point rejection. We made this 5-minute IFEG, and then we also inversed these 5-minute gaps in this candle, and broke structure to these lows. So I just felt like we were pretty bearish to this unfilled 4-hour gap in London low. And so I told myself like I wanted to enter, but I was not going to enter here. RR was awful. So I wanted to enter on a pullback, on a retracement. And so I put a limit order right here. And it took some time, but we eventually got to it. And I still felt very good about this draw lower because we were kind of just slowly grinding up after this move down. And to me, that suggested that sellers were still in the room, right? We had all this low resistance liquidity below. And even though we slowly grinded up during my trade, we just generated more liquidity at the lows. So when we started to reject lower from like 915 to 925, I felt better about the trade playing out because it kind of suggested to me that our draw truly is lower. But I did have to sit through market open because my break even was this obvious 5-minute low right here. This low was like right next to my target, so I wasn't going to go break even there. But if we swept this low, then I was willing to go break even, and we did not hit that pre-market. So I literally almost got stopped out at 9:30. Like, look at this shit, right? It was, I mean, how close was it? It was 6 points away from stopping me out. And then we proceeded to immediately deliver to TP. And I could have completely held as well to this next 4-hour. I just think that when we're super bullish, we have to assume, like on the higher time frame, when we are super bullish, we have to, if we're shorting, then we just have to put it at the highest probable target. And in my opinion, this most premium 4-hour gap is the highest probable target. So feeling extremely proud that I was able to react and predict to price today. If this lost, I honestly don't know how I'd feel because like we chopped, literally I entered at 9:45 and we chopped for the majority of the time. So I really don't like that, but I felt conviction in the draw lower, so I trusted my gut. But yeah, guys, this is looking great. This one, I'm going to be able to request 3.5, and these other four are looking pretty good. I technically could request a payout from these four right now, but I want to work towards 4K balance, not necessarily out of greed, but I'm doing that because I know that I can do it. I think that taking the payout now is safe and easy, and I want to give myself enough drawdown to be able to maintain these accounts. And I'm not going to lie, I also would want a payout that I'd feel proud of. And I think a 4K, like getting to a 4K balance, is simply just avoiding losses and getting one more one-to-one trade. So, you guys, this week has been great so far, and just hoping to keep it that way. So anyways, you guys, that's going to be it for me today. Please feel free to join the Tiger's Den if you want to see trades like this. I'm going to be going live on for CPI on Friday. I will not be trading my expresses on CPI. Well, actually, that makes me wonder. So I have constantly wondered, so this account, I've already gotten 3 payouts from, and I'm at a 3.5K balance. And part of me wonders if I should just try CPI on this account. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll think about it, and I'll let you guys know probably tomorrow if I decide to do it or not. But anyways, you guys, catch you guys tomorrow. What's up, guys? So I actually just finished trading. It is 11:15, extremely late in the session, you guys. And somehow I took a small win. I'm going to be honest. I'm not really proud of this win. And I think it's for a few reasons. So I took a trade. So I was waiting all morning for a trade. I did not like anything I saw. I will show you exactly what I was looking at and why I didn't like anything. But then I saw something happen, or that allowed me to trade right now. And I just, it was very quick. And I kind of moved to break even emotionally on my first trade. And then I found like an okay re-entry, I guess, literally 30 seconds later. And I re-entered again, but the risk is so bad because price is barely moving. So my stop was like 20 points or something, or 15 points. And I normally trade on micros. And, if it's 15 or 20 points, I should be trading with minis. So I risked like $400. And, oh my God, wow. This is running to full TP if I would have, actually thought through my target a little bit better. But let me just show you guys the trade that I did end up taking just now and the trades that I faded. So this was the chart from New York AM today. And it looked, so I was bullish going into the day. And the reason being is that we have these stacked lows down here, and I wanted them to get swept off open in order to then continue the trend higher. And, off open, we end up providing some nice short setups. These were the short setups that people ended up taking throughout the day. And, I just did not like these shorts because if I were to see a short when I am bullish overall as my bias, I would want these highs to get swept right here. And unfortunately, those highs did not get swept. So I did not take the trade. I did not take any trades. There were some other highs that got swept to the left. However, I just did not think it was good enough for me to go against my bias. And yeah, so I faded those trades, and I honestly was just watching, and I was kind of waiting for London low to get swept. Never ended up happening. And then we just start hella rejecting higher, and we made these 5-minute gaps, and we made this low inside of the 5-minute gap. I wanted for that to get swept. That's exactly what happened. We made a bullish SMT with ES. Also, I do want to point out that we have massive bullish SMTs right now with ES. As you can see, we swept out this data low at 8:30. ES did not even sweep it, so it was a pretty big bullish SMT. And we also have an internal bullish SMT with this 5-minute low. So you can see that we swept this 5-minute low right here. ES did not sweep the 5-minute low. So I was just waiting for an inversion out of that. And I saw this 30-second right here. It's a small 30-second, but I saw this 30-second and I decided to take that. I went break even on this candle. This candle right here, I went break even because we kind of just swept all these highs and rejected lower. That kind of scared me. It was an emotional break even. And then when I saw this 1-minute close and provide a change in the state of delivery, I decided to re-enter based off of that break of structure and that 30-second inversion. And I just held for a 1-to-1 to this 5-minute internal high here, or intermediate high. Full TP probably, if I had thought about this a little bit better, it probably would have been high of day, which is at 9:30, and this would have been a 3.2 RR trade. However, you can see, sorry, that I only made $390 from this trade, and that is because I hella under risked and I hella got scared on this trade, and I just held for a 1-to-1. Considering how choppy we were, I feel like that was an okay decision, but overall my bias was still bullish, and I feel like this was a very bullish signature in price, us making several bullish SMTs, coming down, tapping it, and then heavily rejecting. We'll see if this ends up fully hitting TP, but, I'm glad I could make some profit on the day. I am not going to be requesting a payout across these accounts because I would ideally like to get to a 4K balance. Feeling a little annoyed because had I risked the right amount, and I had an opportunity to change my risk, but had I risked the right amount, I would have been able to, potentially, but it is what it is. So anyways, guys, that is it from me today. Kind of not proud of my execution. Just felt sloppy. Like I really should have just held in this first 30-second trade. And let me just show you what my entry would have been for that. So my entry was, let's just say it's right here. Let's just say I even got a bad entry. Let's just say I got a bad entry. And if I had held to the logical target, are there any other logical targets? No, not really. It's really just the high of day or not high of day, but like the New York AM high or the targets that I marked out before. This would have been a 4.3 our trade. But I can't be really mad about me missing this. I think it just needs to be a learning experience for me to be confident in the trades that I take. And like, I don't know. When I saw that, when I took the trade, I didn't really have a thought on like where I wanted to target, where I wanted my break even to be, because 30-second charts are just extremely quick and with extremely tight stops. And I kind of wanted to manage the trade a little bit. Like I wanted to like think through the trade a little bit more, but I just didn't have time to, I guess. I don't know, bro. But anyway, looks like this is going to deliver to full take profit. Pretty annoying, but I mean, it makes me feel good that I could like correctly adapt and predict price. So it is what it is. Catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is CPI. I have decided that I am not going to trade my funded accounts on CPI. However, I will be trading evals. We'll be trying to get more allocation. I'm going to be trading with Alpha and Apex. So we will see what happens. Hopefully it does us nice, and I will give you guys an update tomorrow. All right, boys. So I just got wrecked by CPI. It was around 9 a.m. And thankfully I did not take out my fundeds. I only did my evals, and I bought evals because of these huge Easter sales that have been happening recently. Alphas are not blown. They just technically hit daily loss limit, and my Apex is blown. So, you know, it is what it is. I will say, kind of feeling a little frustrated because it potentially could have played out. You know, had I was kind of just having a lot of fun in my Discord, and I just kind of lost sense of time. And then there were 2 minutes left, and I was managing positions across both Tradeovate and NinjaTrader. And I remember when I was setting my orders, Tradeovate rejected me, and I'm like, what is going on? So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not blaming anything or anyone. You know, I decided to do this today, but if everything went according to plan, then I potentially could have won. It just depends. I know a lot of people lost, some people won, kind of was 50-50. So CPI might be patched, but not letting that affect the mental, you guys. I think that today could be a nice day of price action. Today is Friday, and I'm technically, like, I am extremely close to my next payout, which will basically allow me to have April be a 10K month. But I'm not letting that greed drive my trading, right? I'm going to let the trades come to me. I'm going to let the most obvious trades come to me, and then at that point, be able to, you know, capitalize off of that. So anyways, guys, catch you guys when I take a trade. All right, you guys, Dr. Tiger back again. I'm recording a very late video once again at 12 at around lunchtime. And I did secure another win on the charts. This secures me a 10K month, 11K month actually, for April. So I'm going to be updating the balance, I think, to 21K so far. This challenge is already almost over. Not almost, halfway over. And not gonna lie, you guys, the second trade, so I took 2 trades today. First was break even, and the second one was a discretionary trade. And it was slightly de-risked because it was a little bit more discretionary, and the price action today was absolutely trash. But I just felt very convicted in data highs hitting. And if you guys remember today being CPI day on April 10th, it just was bad delivery. But let me just show you overall what I was thinking. So this was the charts in the New York AM session. As you can see, I won $850 today times 5, and therefore I'm able to, well, on these accounts, I can only request on 4, so 2.2K requesting across 4 accounts. After profit split, that's around 2K per, so that's around an 8K payout. But anyways, to the trading, so you can see that on MNQ, we formed this data high here, and the main thing that, like, I think everyone was confused about today was that on NASDAQ, we did not take out the data high off of open, which is just really confusing because on MNQ, we do take it off open, and we immediately reject. So to me, that kind of just suggests that NQ's really like respecting this data high. Like, you know, they're supposed to be correlated, right? But I mean, when I see this, it's like, we're not just dumping for no reason. There's people who got stopped out at this high, and a lot of them must have been on MNQ. So when I saw this 2-minute death candle, I was bullish going into the day, but I overall just really love this setup. We had an unfilled 15-minute below, and we technically had a lot of draws below, like London low. We had these lows, and overall we are just overextended on the higher time frame bullishly. So you know, I wasn't mad about taking shorts. And so when I took this, I basically was about to get stopped out. And I remember on a trade like this that I took, I lost because I didn't have my stop at the swing high. So I did adjust my stop and I moved it to here because I was telling myself, like, if I'm wrong, then we should not go to this high. And we ultimately did not. What's it called? We like rejected lower and we tapped the 15-minute gap. So I went break even, basically was an insta break even trade. Then I saw another beautiful setup happen. So I was looking for, after I saw this bullish movement, after we respected this 15-minute gap, we created a new 5-minute gap. And after failing to take the NQ data highs once again, the NQ data highs were at 385. So I marked that out. After we failed to take it out once again, we made a death candle. And we retraced into this 5-minute gap, and I'm like, okay, sweet, would love to get an inversion off of this. So I popped onto the 1 minute, and then we kind of just started doing nothing. And I saw this 1 minute break, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. So I decided I would take a stab at it because I know that like it was very possible that we could resweep this low right here. We very could resweep this low, but I just really liked these like this bullish movement right here. And I think we would have done it right here. I think we also had a bullish SMT right here at these lows. And so I kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to place a limit at this most discounted 1 minute gap right here. And I basically sniped this entry. It was a 1.9 RR trade. I risked like $500 to make this. So technically it was only like a 1.5 or so RR. And that's because I took partials. I took partials at this high, these highs, and then we struggled at these highs for a really long time, and then we finally broke it. And yeah, so overall, just feeling great, you guys. Not gonna lie, like, is this trade something that like I think is extremely high probable? No, I think that like, you know, it was well thought out, and I'm proud of that. But like, you know, was it a plus? Absolutely not. You know, and I might need to think about that a little bit more, but like I used my discretion and I de-risked a little bit because I was trading at a time I normally don't trade. The time of my entry in this trade was at 11:05, almost 11:06, and it lasted 18 minutes. So yeah, you guys, this is insane. This marks my first 10K month in April, and I am feeling proud. Like I did it through good trading, and now I have accounts that I can continue to trade. With CPI, so I'm confused because alphas have daily loss limits, and for 3 of them, my CPI trade did not, like, the daily loss limit did not trigger for the alpha accounts. So those blue 3 of them, 2 of them, it triggered, but like I'm only having like $700 left to draw down. So gonna see if I can pass those. I'm really not gonna focus on scaling. I kind of just want to become a little bit more consistent with my trading. I did have 4 wins this week, which is insane. That just normally never happens. And I need to remember that, right? Like I don't want to get too excited. I think that like the market will always humble me, and just have to remember to keep putting in the inputs and the discipline and the patience that gets me to points like this. So anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I think I dropped a lot of sauce in this video, so hope you appreciated that. Join my Discord in the description. I sent all of my trades and live stream for CPI today in the Discord, and would love to see you there. So anyways, guys, catch you guys next week.